I'm Brian Jodas, 43, Hello Kitty, and this is the F3 Circle of Trust. From the F3 Nation Podcast Studios.
I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story, and I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
This is the COT Podcast, connecting the packs of F3 Nation through fitness, fellowship, and faith.
Andrew Maggio, 35, Wirebiter.
Mike Kirkos, 35, Saganaki.
Michael Barrett, 40, Rep Sleepy.
Peter Ranky, 63, Bambi.
COT Podcast starts right now.
Shut up and sit down.
What is up, F3 Nation? Welcome back to another episode of the F3 Circle of Trust. It's your boy, Hello Kitty. We are joined with you every single week to talk about things we're seeing happening in and around this great F3 nation of ours, united through fitness, fellowship, and faith, united to leave no man behind, believe no man where we found him, united to plant, grow, and serve small workout groups for men for the invigoration of male community leadership. And I'm grateful that you're hanging with me on a Thursday afternoon, maybe watching live across the Facebook or YouTube page. Had a connection issue on the old Twitter sphere. So we're broadcasting live right now across Facebook and YouTube, or if you're listening to us on the archives or watching on the replay, thanks for hanging out. I'm going to talk to you today about things that are happening around F3 Nation, including this week's State of the Nation address. And not really an address. What was really cool, it was a hangout, man. It was a conversation. It was a meeting with the F3 Nation shared leadership team, and they talked about sort of this 3.0 phase, F3.0, and what's to come, and some changes that you're seeing around sort of from the HQ side of things, how it can help invigorate male community leadership in your home regions, because that's what this is all about. Plant, grow, and serve. Serve the packs to go out there and impact their local areas and keep accelerating in their lives on this quest to get right, live right, lead right, and leave right. And so I'm grateful that you're hanging with me. See if anybody else pops on the show today. The big fella got a little work travel, and so he was called into duty. And so we're hanging out today. I did post the link in the Mumble chatter of the F3 Nation Slack. So if you're watching live across one of those platforms and you want to jump on the show with me, you click on that link. It brings you in the backside of the studio, and then I can make sure I can see you, and then we'll bring you on the air here. So join me if you can. And as always, you can comment on the show on those platforms, like my man Gold Rush Bartman, the manliest of all Barts, the Bartliest of all man, some might say, watching from the great state of California. Bartman, I just had a beautiful, over the last weekend, few days in the Central Coast. Man, Santa Maria, Santa Barbara, Pismo, Lompoc, gorgeous weekend out in California, and props to our man F3 Lightyear, my youngest brother, for taking command of the 533rd Training Squadron, Vandenberg Space Force Base, Space Force Base. And man, had a great moment, great proud big bro moment to watch him assume command, and I got to spend some great quality time. Pretty good wine out there, Bartman. Pretty good wine out there in the Central Coast. And the temperatures were great. The humidity was low. Man, it was good. It was good stuff for sure. T Cook, what's up, bro? Good to see you as always. Loyal watcher on the Facebook, man. So thanks for hanging out. Hopefully, if you guys got a chance to tune in and be a part of that State of the Nation, if you got to watch on Tuesday night, which was really cool. We were in the middle of a swim meet and rec league hoops game. So watch it on the replay. Great information from the guys. Going to share with you a little bit more about what they're doing. Barman, I see you trying to dial in. If you want to be on the air, got to see that camera pop on to ensure we can see you. And when that happens, we'll bring in, because we can talk about all things Central Coast, I'm sure. While we're waiting for that, let's give a thanks to our sponsors who help make this show possible for us. Put a little wind in the sails here of this F3 podcast show that we've got here called The Circle of Trust. And thanks to our friends at MGM Industries. Man, let me tell you about true pros when it comes to windows. We all have them. We need them. We know there are packs across this F3 nation of ours in construction, building, development, and general contracting. If you're in need of the best, then you need look no further than MGM Industries, because they manufacture the best looking vinyl windows in the industry, period. With their innovative designs, MGM offers the architectural look of classic wood windows and the maintenance-free benefits of vinyl. They've got over 50 years of experience. They're family-owned, and best of all, our guy, Paul Gensler, aka F3 Press On. His company, Window Reps, helps make this a reality for you. So if you're in need of the industry's best, hit up sales@windowreps.com or visit mgmindustries.com. MGM Window Reps deliver superior value to our customers and their architects that they work with, contractors, all that. The reputation speaks for itself. So get on that today. And man, there is a ton of great things happening at f3gear.com. It is your official source for all F3 gear and apparel. You know it, you wear it daily in the gloom. And not only is the gear built for you and built to withstand the toughest beatdown, but a portion of all sales benefit F3 Nation because F3 Nation owns the gear store. It's powered by the amazing folks at Mud Gear as well. BOGO socks for the month of July. So if you go to the F3 Gear store, any of those great Mud Gear socks, guys, they're so good. I was wearing their training socks yesterday. Absolutely love their ruck socks. BOGO July is the code, and you can get buy one, get one 2024 race jersey available, Clydesdale shirts coming, and teased out this week, coming to a parking lot coffee, a cafeteria, or maybe a kitchen countertop near you, F3 Coffee. We are days away. So just stay tuned. Coming soon, F3 Coffee to hit your coffee makers in just a matter of moments, guys. So get excited about that as well. More details to come as we lock in on when that's going to be available. And like I mentioned, those BOGO socks only through the end of the month. Sale ends July 31st. So get in there and get going. And one last sponsor to thank. It's the folks at livemomentous.com. My code there to save some cash is Brian J. They've got all you need for your health and wellness, things to help you perform at your best, like vitamins, protein, creatine, all that good stuff, man. Be performing as a great outdoor athlete. LiveMomentous.com, code Brian J to save a little bit there as well. Let's see who else is checking in early in the program. Speed Trap from F3 Sumter, South Carolina. Love to see that. Good to see you, Trap, as well. Money Cat, meow, out of Baton Rouge. Good to see you, Cat, as always, bro. Thanks for chiming in. And Bunker out of F3 Mobile checking in today. Small group on here this afternoon. Look, man, we're smack dab in the middle of a Thursday afternoon. So we'll take what we get, and we'll have a great conversation as we go along with it. And I believe the manliest of all Barts is ready to join the show. I can see him. He's going to give me a thumbs up and let me know. There he is, my brother. Good to see you, and a good day from the East Coast to the West or Central Coast, bro. Gorgeous.
I know it's every time we go visit or do something like that, it's like hard to pull away and then go back to 110 degrees in the Sacramento area. So
we did a family every summer for the last 3 years. When my family gets together, my brother, my dad, my sister-in-law, we always end up doing a Burt Wad, right? In memory of a fallen soldier. It's just something we've done for the last couple of years on family vacations. We don't have a big family vacation this year. So we did when we were all together last Saturday morning. And I mean, noticeable difference. Just lack of humidity, which was nice. Brother, what's going on out west? How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Man, I can't complain. Better than I deserve. You can co-host the show with me here for a few minutes since I got the tall ones out today.
Sure. I think he's got big shoes, but we'll see what we can do.
That's right.
So we'll see how that works.
Literally has big shoes. What's shaking with you guys?
Oh man, we got things going on. We got so a couple things. One is I'll start with the good stuff first. Well, it's all good. It's all good stuff.
It's all good.
It's all good. So we're doing a Grit for Gold challenge that the SLT came up with, and the guys are going to roast me if I get the dates wrong. I want to say like June 16th to August 15th, so I will. And we've got 27 AOs plus one that we're kind of getting going there.
Okay.
And the idea is in that 2-month period to hit all of the AOs.
Nice.
And also to see how fast you can do it. So last I checked, I think grade A.
Oh, it's a race.
Yeah. So I think grade A might be finishing up this Friday, which would give him about 3 weeks ahead of schedule. But,
you have the potential to do 2 in a day in any of those places?
No. All of them are morning, and we have one Sunday. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And the Sunday is a ruck. So that one's nice. And we have 6 running sites. And so, that's been the other challenge. So I actually, quick shout out to Pyro, who I was complaining about needing to do the runs, and he said, just do them all 1 week then. So I'm on.
Just do them all in 1 week. Sure.
All 1 week. So I'm on day 4 of that. So that's been a hoot.
Thus it's a little active recovery here, you know?
Yes.
Let's get horizontal a little bit, get the legs a little break.
Exactly.
Like that.
So they got that going on for me. So that's
which is nice.
Cool. And then the other thing that happened last week, and this is why I reached out to you specifically for. So we have a guy. He kind of bounces back and forth between Gold Rush and Terracotta.
Yeah.
And his name's Flosser. And tragically, about a week ago, he lost his wife to cancer.
Yep.
And there's some of the pics now. So it was super sad. He's a great guy. And our third FQ Gator was talking to him. He was like, man, what can we do for you? What can we do to support you? And Flosser was like, I'm going to be out at Ghost Links on Friday. And Ghost Links is our Friday run site. And it's like, okay, like, but what can we do for you? He's like, no, I just need to be around my brothers. So Flosser came out. Flosser has, and sorry if I get any of this wrong, he's got 3 children, 2 boys and a girl. So the boys came out, so they were FNGs. And by boys, I mean men. Like these guys were legit. So they work at In-N-Out Burger. So their names are 4x4 and the Flying Dutchman, which makes a lot of sense on the West Coast.
Let's go. I got some right before I left town the other day. Beautiful.
Oh, you're a blessed man.
Absolutely.
So yeah. So anyway, so he said he's going to be at Ghost Links. We put it out there. 51 guys showed up to Ghost Links.
Yeah, there's that picture on the bottom, and then there's that COT over on the right.
Yeah. And well, that was interesting. So I'll get to that in a second. So the Ghost Link guys, they decided to run over to Huff Springs, which is one of our Friday beatdowns. And I was at Huff Springs, and we had 29 guys there. And we met up at an abandoned football field that's in the middle of the park that Huff Springs is at. And so there was 80 guys there, and we just all gathered around him. We put them in the middle. It was a giant circle of trust, but we did it mid-workout. Yeah. And props to Brass Monkey and Work Permit for organizing it, as they were the cues. And they just said, okay, we're taking a break from the workout to support Flosser. And we prayed for him a little bit. Mostly he just kind of talked about like how special his wife was, how much he loved her, and really also like what F3 meant to him as far as lifting him up and getting him through just a really crappy situation. So
well, you can see him on the right there, and I mean really in like a full embrace, man. Like I was very moved by that. I'm glad you sent these photos over too, and I'm glad you dialed in because we could pop it up here and show these guys what we're talking about. I mean, this is what makes this thing so much more than a workout. Like, yeah, these guys get after it. I mean, they got great workout in. But what this thing can do for your head, heart, and soul, I mean, that's the game changer. This right here is the special sauce. But you don't ever want this scenario to play out. But when challenges come through a man's life, to be able to turn to a group like this, man, so special.
Yeah, and we put a bunch of flags in his yard ahead of time just to show support. Gator picked up one of the sets to take to a guy who had just had shoulder surgery, and Flosser was like, oh yeah, someone else needs it too, and it's like, or needs it more than me. And Gator was like, bro, but we're all in it together, man. And so it was really touching. It was just a great moment. It was like special to be a part of, and I think also the importance of like, you know, we stopped mid-workout. We said, we're taking 5 minutes for what's more important. Yeah. And it's lifting up our brothers. So it was special.
No, that's incredible, man. No surprise coming out of a region like that, but we see these kinds of things happen all over. I mean, I've been to funeral services where shovel flags have lined, you know, the driveway coming in. We've seen them in front yards across Puget Sound, Omaha, when tragedies hit, when we lost packs or when guys have lost loved ones. We see it with what you guys are doing there. It's a real marker, right? And it might seem like a little thing to do in the moment, but by planting that flag, you're just saying like, man, we're planted in this thing with you. And to see you guys rally and that meetup in the middle, what a special way to do that. And you're right, to take that little pause, right? Like you guys are going to miss out on a little bit of workout time today. Nobody complained.
Right. Nobody. Yeah. No one of the 80 people complained.
That's right. Dude, I love it, man. Good to see you, bro.
Great. Thanks. Good seeing you.
All right, back to whatever else you're doing today. If you got to go run some more, get yourself hydrated and ready for tomorrow.
No, I'm stretching and lying down. That's what I'm
Perfect. All right, bro. Peace. Later. F3 Bartman coming at you from Gold Rush, man. Taking some time to share with us, right, about that special story, what they did for their brother. Well, it's tough, man, when those things happen in life. So good on those guys for stepping up and make it happen. Let's say hi to some other packs. Jolly Rancher out of St. Louis checking in on the Facebook page. Ka from Southern Illinois checking in on the Facebook page as well. What's our guy doing here? Cleaning out the garage and tuned in. What's up, Slippers? Redmond region, Puget Sound. Good to see you, bro. I'm sure it's nice and cooler up there than it is back east. What up, Car? Funny Car checking in. Good to see you, brother, as well on the Facebook page. And Micrometer out of Roco checking in on the Facebook page as well. Love having you guys dial in live. Bunyan at F3 Lanco, listening from work. Yeah, get some work done. Bunyan, get that work done. Don't slip up on that, but happy to hang out with you, man. If you guys have questions or anything you want to share with me, put it in the chat as well. Pop them up here throughout the course of the show. You know, Bartman was talking about a challenge that they've got in their regions. One of my favorite F3 things is when we can do challenges together, like Iron Packs, but then seeing these challenges pop up across regions, which is also cool. So he talked about what they're doing, that Gold Grit Challenge. The boys in Cherokee, Georgia have a good one going right now, the Summer Spearhead Challenge. And this is good stuff worth trying. They've kind of laid it out there for you. So if you're watching online or if you go back and watch the replay, take a screenshot of this because good ideas, right? And they compete on this throughout the summer, right? Just try to get guys engaged, get guys going throughout the summertime. But it's got first F goals like 3 posts per week, posting at 5 AOs you don't regularly attend. Big fan of that one. VQ or Q at an AO that you don't usually attend. Big fan of that one as well. I got a CSOP they're talking about doing. Then they got second F stuff like second F events or bringing out FNGs or going to a dad's camp or going to another region, or third F events like hosting a third F or maybe taking your M out for a date or reading a leadership book. So thought that was really cool. Spearhead Challenge makes sense for the guys in Cherokee to name it. Hopefully everything is good down in that Cherokee Alpha region. I know you just picked up a heck of a high impact, man. So love seeing what the Gold Rush guys are doing with theirs. Love seeing what the Cherokee guys are doing with theirs. So that's pretty sweet to see those things take shape. Let's see what this question is. Will you be joining your dad, Red Bear, in 2 weeks of the PA Convergence? PA Converge, not in YHC's schedule, but he had me all fired up about it. Would love to, but it's just not going to work from a summer schedule standpoint. But you're in good hands. You're in pretty good hands with the nation's general. And I know the guys across the Keystone State, but specifically right there in central PA will rock it. I think you'll have good attendance as always from guys all over that great state of Pennsylvania. So get after it, crush it. Don't let the House of York boys come in there and talk all this junk about being the strongest or the fastest. Show them what's up. And depending on where you're from, have a great time with it. Enjoy it. Enjoy central Pennsylvania, but have a good time with Red Baron. White Sea not going to be able to make it up, unfortunately. More great things happening across this F3 nation of ours. We got to give props to the boys of Geneva, Illinois. GTE 50 this past weekend wrapped up, and they had 37 men begin, 35 officially completed. And by the look of it, it looked like the boys were well spent, well tested, and they were doing some live coverage, posting some photos and things. So if you go to the F3 Facebook page, you can see those things archived there. So congrats and a T-clap to the men of Geneva for getting in GTE 50 under their belts. Well done there as well. And then we also saw F3 Uncovered, a fantastic event. And this was out of Knoxville, I think. We had 44 packs get out there, out of their comfort zone into the water and sand. Iron sharpens iron. So kind of like a little mini, maybe GTE there for the boys in Tennessee, but wet and sandy, doing F3 kind of stuff. Man, love to see that. Love to see that. All right. We talked a little bit about it at the top of the show, but Tuesday night was the F3 State of the Nation. And there was a lot of great things that the shared leadership team wanted to hit on. I'm going to talk about a few of the main takeaways from that event. What you can do, though, is you can go right to the F3 Facebook page or the YouTube channel. On YouTube, click on live. On Facebook, click on videos. And the whole thing's there, right? These guys talked for about an hour about things you're going to see. But some of the main points were this, and then we're going to hear sort of part of Dark Helmet's sort of, closing remarks, right? Sort of his rally cry for the men. But things like this, I mean, the nation, from the nation level, right? And really, again, focus on what can we do? What can the nation be doing to plant, grow, and serve to equip men so that you guys can go accelerate and lead in your regions, right? Like we always say, man, the packs will figure it out. But some of the main things that I think that from a nation level, HQ is focused on are things like leadership development process, equipping, educating, exhorting the men of F3 Nation to move forward for a greater impact. So that's a big part of it. Toward the end of this year, F3 is going to be discontinuing Grow Ruck, but those offerings aren't really going away. It's just going to move into a different sort of service provider, but the team will continue to provide GETE style events with the same cadres, same trainers, right? All of that can very easily be duplicated, but things might look a little different, feel a little different. But the goal of getting you out there, getting you accelerated, getting you uncomfortable, getting you head knowledge that converts to heart knowledge in those moments of high stress and low vis, that's not going to change. So that's something to be looking out for and sort of what those changes look like. And in 2025, we're going to have new lead weekends, leadership, evolution, activation, and development. These weekends experiences will enable packs for that leadership development process growth. So more coming up on that. Man, great financial space they talked about for the nation, what the charitable arm is going to be doing in the future, and a brand new sharp, dude, I looked at it this week, sharp looking, newly launched F3Nation.com. Also has things like a video lexicon on there as well. So be sure to click over to F3 Nation and share that website across your socials. Let guys know what the new thing looks like and where they can find out, learn more about this great thing that we're doing. And as he is apt to do, and as a leader should, after casting vision, you got to exhort the men, right? You got to give them something to rally around. And our man Dark Helmet left with a powerful message at the end of the event. And I'm happy to share that with you now.
Have you notified Lord Helmet?
Yes, sir. I took the liberty. He's on his way.
Make way for Dark Helmet. All rise in the presence of Dark Helmet.
But at some point, I hope some man, maybe it's me, maybe it's someone on the SLT, maybe it's someone on your SLT locally, your Nantan, throws his arm around you and says, brother, you need the nation, the leadership of the nation. You need the entire nation, because not one of us is going to get there alone. You can get more fit on your own. Heck, you can go to Orange Theory and get probably a better workout in a lot of cases than you would in some places in F3. But I'm here to tell you, you're not going to find anything like this. And it's only by being part of something that is bigger. It's only by being part of the movement that we're all going to be able to move forward. It's not going to be onesie twosie, and it's not going to be isolated in our little regions. It has to be connected to all of us. We can change the men, but only as men collectively are we going to actually be able to make a difference and change the world. That's really what we're all about here. And so, men, as you go forward tonight, as we kind of wrap things up here, I guess the only thing I would say is kind of what I said to those guys at the end of the day in St. Louis area, down in Jeffco. As we were leaving, kind of the CSOP was winding down and the families were showing up, which was kind of fun. They had a little family fun day and threw water balloons at each other and stuff like that. And a guy showed up there. His name is Holes. Holes is the current Nantan of Expedition area down there. And he says he showed up with his little son named Wormy. And Wormy is probably, I think, maybe 3 or 4, somewhere in that neighborhood, right? And he says, so he shows up and he goes, okay, kids, we're going to play, we're going to do this, all this kind of stuff. And it hit me, and I've thought about this before, but for some reason it really struck me when I saw Wormy, and that was this. Wormy has the blessing of living in a world where he will never know what it's like to not have F3. Much like your kids and my kids grew up in a world with, iPads, right? And they just know what it is. They didn't grow up in a world without high-speed internet. They have no concept of what that world looks like. And look what they've been able to do because we're so far along the road. Look, fellas, I told the guys in St. Louis area this. I said, we're laying telegraph lines right now. We're laying telegraph lines. When those kids, that 3 and 4 year old kid who grew up in a house with an F3 dad who raised him as an F3 man, right? When that happens, and when he gets to the age where he's a man, he's 18, 19, 20, and so on, and starts to raise a family of his own, we have broken forever, hopefully, a cycle where men get worse or they deteriorate. We've turned this thing around. That's the hope, right? That we'll turn this thing around and those men will continue to accelerate for generation upon generation upon generation. And if you can even start to think about what that's going to look like, the difference that's going to be when they come out as natives, F3 natives, just like digital natives, right? When they come out that way, because it's just in their DNA now, those guys are going to be the ones that absolutely blow our minds with what's possible. And so I want you to think about that as you think about going forward tomorrow in the gloom and going forward in the other areas of your life, right? Think about that. You're laying a foundation for a great work that if we do it right, it cannot be stopped. It cannot be stopped. And I thank you, men, for all the things that you do. Now, we're going to call it a night here. I think if you want to drop off, I understand. I said that we would hang out for a few minutes and answer questions. But I want you to go forward now and do the good work.
I want to show you something to comment on what he said, and then we'll take a quick break. And this is not a look at me thing. I promise you it's not, because it resonates with what I said. My kids love to make, if you guys are watching on the stream, they love to make tailor-made Father's Day cards. Love it. I just pulled this right off the shelf over here. Keep it close. I've got them spread across the office, at the house, whatever. And inside they always pick photos, right, of things to share. Look at that middle one right there. Adventure dad, soccer dad, F3 dad. F3 dad. Leave right. Leave right. Get yourself right. Live right for your family and your community. Lead with everything you got, and then leave this thing better than you found it. I got to take a quick break. We'll be right back with a quote with Repeato before we wrap up this show. Great words from Dark Helmet. Keep getting after men. I'll be right back.
The 5 core principles of F3 are that it's free, it's open to all men, it's held outdoors rain or shine, peer-led in a rotating fashion, and always ends in a circle of trust.
Welcome to Family Farms, where our culinary journey is woven with passion, dedication, and a commitment to crafting the finest bacon-wrapped chicken, a timeless delicacy that has tantalized the taste buds since 1974. At Family Farms, we're more than just a traditional name. We've evolved into purveyors of gourmet delights. Join us on this flavorful adventure, where every bite tells a story of tradition, quality, and the enduring spirit of Family Farms.
Back in the good old days, we used to have these large yellow books delivered right to our doorstep that gave us phone numbers of businesses and services that could meet our needs. The only problem is, we didn't know if we could trust any of them. Well, thanks to F3, we are connected with incredible PACs in our local communities. But what we don't necessarily have is a listing of the businesses of those PACs. Introducing the F3 Warrior Biz Network, where you can connect with PACs in your local community or from coast to coast throughout this great nation. You can connect with other biz PACs to meet your needs, or if you're a business owner, you can register your own business so that other PACs know about the services that you provide. Through the Warrior Biz Network, you have reliability and you have connectivity, and you can sign up today to represent your business or to find other businesses that you can trust. Join the Warrior Biz Network today at warriorbiznetwork.com.
Welcome back to the F3 Circle of Trust show. Thanks to the guys at Warrior Biz Network for finding ways to connect the PACs. Great job, fellas. And a business director of F3 Men who you can trust these guys, right? Inherently trust them. Get at it. Go to warriorbiznetwork.com. Check it out. Use the code COT if you sign up. Let them know that we sent you. All right, before we go, we don't have the big fellow with us, but we still have, yes, the always anticipated, never duplicated quote worth Repeato to round out this week's show. And feeling somewhat presidential this week. Don't know why, but just feeling somewhat presidential this week. So we went back to primero, right? Numero uno, George Washington, for this beautiful quote that I think kind of sums up a bit of a circle of trust. Definitely a shield lock to me. Be courteous to all, right? Think about the way in which those men came through, what was thrown at them, but the ability to still be men, courteous men, honorable men. Be courteous to all, be intimate with few, and let those few be well tried before you give them your confidence. I think that's a great thought about a shield lock, an inner circle, and maybe the way in which we operate to be honorable, truthful, but trusted men, all right? Be well tried, right? What do you know there? You know what? Let me see. I got my man Bronx Bomber hanging in the wind. He flipped his camera on. He said he was listening. I'm going to give him a chance to chime in. Bronx B, you got me loud and clear? I can't hear you. That's the only issue. I can see that beautiful face of yours. Pop that microphone on. No worries, because I want to get your thoughts on this George Washington quote, because I pulled it up today. So that's one I don't know that I had seen in a while. I enjoyed it very much. I got to give my man Bronx a shout out while he's getting himself dialed in on audio here. This guy is not only transforming physical bodies and hearts out in green level with his kettlebell program, strength program, but the dude gets it done in the in-garage wood shop, and he's making these American flags. And he made one for Lightyear for his change of command that I had to travel all the way out to California, which was pretty fun. But look how that thing turned out, bro. So good. So good. Got the kid in uniform too. Lieutenant Colonel looking good. Bronx, can you hear me? Can I hear you? I see your gums flapping, but I can't hear you. No worries, bro. We'll connect another time. For the guys watching, they got to see you, though. So that's good news. Had a Smittix in your honor last night to my Irish brother over there. You the man. All right, I'll catch you later. I got to get off this show. Time's up on us. Peace. Guys, great time. Great hanging out with you. Love it as always. Grateful for you guys for being a part of this. Let's see what Luke has to say. Are those bags of coffee in the background? Are we? Okay, so no, those are from my friends at One Nation Coffee, but I will have to get some F3 coffee over there because that's coming soon. Very soon. Can't say exactly when. Don't want to overpromise, underdeliver, but the coffee's coming soon. And let's just say it'll have a patented F3 look to it, right? Patented F3 look. And we can't leave the show without Felix 48 Safari the Beast checking in, brother. Good to see and hear from you all the way from Africa, bro. Good to have you. All right, let's wrap it up for this week. Another great time talking fitness, fellowship, and faith with you guys and talking about how this thing is more than just a workout. But go out there, get after it, crush it at your AOs. And if another man hasn't told you this day, I love you. I love you. Nation loves you. Go out there and have a great rest of your week and get after it. And we'll catch up with you next week on the F3 Circle of Trust. This has been the COT Podcast, connecting the packs of F3 Nation to something bigger than themselves. Please rate and review our show. Follow us on Twitter at F3COT Podcast and connect with the show at COT@F3Nation.com or by leaving us a voicemail at 844-4COT-PACKS. I'm Brian Jodis, 42, Hello Kitty.
And I'm Jamie Roseborough, 40, Repeato.
And this has been the Circle of Trust Podcast.